Hello, welcome to the Global Safe Summit. My name is Michael Clarkin, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Scaled Agile. I have to tell you, one of the great pleasures of my job is the opportunity to meet with some of our customers and hear them tell the stories about the changes that they're driving in their companies. So I'm really excited today to be here at the Porsche headquarters in Zuffenhausen, Stuttgart in Germany. It's incredibly great to be back in person again. Guys, thanks for being here with me today. Thanks for inviting us into your studios. We're so pleased to be here. These two gentlemen have been driving the change engine of their digital transformation at Porsche. So first I'd like to introduce Matthias Ulbrich. So Matthias is the CEO of Porsche Digital and the CIO of the Porsche AG Group. He's been at Porsche at the Volkswagen Group for a number of years, Audi, at Seat, at Volkswagen, and now at Porsche. And he's actually driving the initiative for driving the sort of digital transformation at Porsche. Correct?
That's right.
Okay.
It's great to have you here, Mike.
Thanks very much.
It's a pleasure.
It's just such a pleasure. And then I'm also really pleased to have Oliver Seifert with us today as well. So Oliver, you're the VP of R&D of Electronics at Porsche AG. So you're kind of on the vehicle side of the business. You've been around for a better part of 10 years, and so you've seen the transformation of the car becoming basically a rolling computer. Things have really changed in your life these days. So, gentlemen, thanks very much for being here today. My first question for both of you is, digital, why now? Why did it matter so much? So Matthias, start us off with why is this happening now? Why has this become so important to Porsche?
Yeah, this now started years ago, of course. Yeah, digital is a very important enabler. It's a very important capability for us. And of course, the customer comes first. We have great cars, so our colleagues from R&D have great cars already, but we would like to extend the customer experience. So digital is a very important thing to really extend and have a really good customer experience. But this is not enough, of course, because you need to have this experience, this digital experience as well for your employees. So we have to decide to really transform the way how we interact with the customer, at the same time to interact with our employees and getting a really good user experience for them as well.
I wouldn't have thought that a company like Porsche would have seen the sort of fear of the consumer moving on. It's got to change everything. So Oliver, how has it impacted you, the digitization of the marketplace? What does that change for vehicle development?
As Matthias said, we have a long history of great cars, of race cars, but we are not doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for our customers. And we realized that the demands, the needs of our customers were shifting very quickly the last, let's say, 10 years, 5 to 10 years. We have other customers, they're getting younger, they're getting more techy, something like this, yeah. And we've seen that their needs are different to, let's say, customers 20, 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so we looked, what do we have to bring to our customers that they keep being enthusiastic for our cars? And this was mainly on these typical digitalization topics, like connecting the car to the internet, bringing the ecosystem into the cars, and so on. And this was the decision for us. We have to go digital also in the engineering department for the cars.
So you mentioned that you've been at this for a few years. So let's back up a little bit in time. So Oliver, how was vehicle development before, and what is it like now? Like, what are the big differences that really stick out to you?
The traditional way is like 10, 15 years ago, and still also now is we have a very long development phase for our cars. It's typical 3 to 4 years from the first concept phase to the SOP of the first car we can deliver to the customer. So this time is mainly focused on these, let's say, topics like tooling times for the chassis, for the body systems, and so on. We have to take care a lot about the safety of the car for our customers. So this is the traditional way, which we still have to fulfill. That we have to a good quality, very safe and secure cars to our customers. And but this time scale is not good enough to bring digital products to the customers, yeah. So you cannot talk about 3 or 4 years for a new digital product, yeah. So if you think about your smartphones and so on, it's let's say months or sometimes even weeks, yeah. So this is like it changed now. So for specific topics in the car, for specific products in the car, we have now to change to a multi-speed world. We have 2 or more speeds in the car of development. The traditional speed about the tooling time, and the high speed, let's say, high speed world, it's now about the digitalization. And both worlds, both speeds, we have to bring into our development of the car. And it doesn't stop with the SOP. So
Start of production.
with the start of production.
Thank
Sorry.
you. No, that's okay.
With the start of production, the first customer car, we call it the SOP, the start of production. It's the first customer car after 4 years development. But it continues. The customer is expecting still improvements, new functionalities in their cars. Like you do with your smartphone. You buy the smartphone, but 1 week after you bought it, you expect something new.
So you're telling me that the competition to the Porsche is now my phone, because I'm comparing you to that experience. Is that a fair?
In specific areas, yes, it is.
How interesting.
So we have different competitors now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but as well, it's a combination between the phone and the smartphone and the car, because we have new functionality as well that we can bring on the phone for our customers as well. So I think this is very important as well, that it's not either or either. So we have a combination of both worlds, and this is very interesting. And this is what you have as well with the digitalization, that you have a connected world, and this make all things more complex, and thus you need new methodology to develop and really to manage this complex world.
So tell me a little bit about the history of kind of how you got here. Where did you start with this sort of digitalization idea? What was the beginning, and what have been some of the milestones and successes you've had along the way?
Yeah, well, you can say everything started in 2016 with the first agile teams. We founded as well Porsche Digital in 2016, so 5 years ago. But then we had a very important milestone in 2018 where we really accelerated everything, where we really got this idea that we need a methodology that is not different to all the different teams, because we just tried out some different methodologies, and so we decided we need one methodology that really fits to the company, that fits to this different speed in the development as well. And of course, we would like to save what is good in the let's say traditional world, and combine it with more speed in the digital world. And so we decided to go to SAFe, because this has, of course, some really good advantages for us, because we have one language for all people, so everybody understands right now what we are talking about. And we are open to partners and other employees that would like to join us. So this is a very important aspect for us as well. So then we accelerated, and we started with all, let's say, digital products that are related to the customer. And right now we're in the second phase, where we really put this as well, this methodology to everything that is concerned as well.
What were some of those early products? What were the things that you did first? Software products for the customer?
Yeah, well, we talked about, let's say, the new car, the Taycan, for example. You need this experience as well for everything that is related to the Taycan. But we also have motorsport. That is very important for us as well. So we have a track position app where we developed the combination with the car and the digital world. And I think this was a great step as well, and we got a lot of positive reaction as well from all the engineers, because this is what they love, and they understand then what is really important as well in the digital world.
That struck me about your relationship. I think it's quite interesting. So, you're on the traditional vehicle side, Oliver, of development. Matias kind of grew up in the IT space. That's where software traditionally lands. That's not a natural bridge. In a lot of companies, that might be a big silo you could never cross. What led you, Oliver, to feel like there was an opportunity to collaborate with this sort of digitization strategy? Let's start with you.
It started, let's say, 2006 to 2009. It was the development of the first Panamera of Porsche, and this was the first car with a really complex electronic architecture in the car. So we had to handle, let's say, up to 100 electronic control units within the car.
Wow.
Which are interacting to each other. A lot of 1,000 millions lines of codes and so on. And at the beginning we were a bit struggling with this, yeah. But then we realized it's like a complex IT system.
Yeah.
A lot of computers, servers connected to each other, acting with each other. So we were thinking, okay, who has experience with this? And of course, you're thinking about people like him, yeah? The IT business guys. They know how to handle it. They know how to handle this complexity. And this was the very first beginning of getting in connection with software, modern kind of software development. So it started, let's say, 2006 to 2009. And we didn't know in the engineering department something about agile or safe or something like this. We only have focus on this challenge, yeah.
Right.
So this was the beginning of this bridge, which is still continuing and building up, yeah, and it's getting stronger and stronger because what we experienced, let's say, 10 to 15 years ago, it's growing faster and faster and faster. Now it's not only the 100 ECUs, electronic control users in the car, it's also connecting to the internet, connecting to charging stations, connecting everywhere. Yeah. So it's getting more and more complex.
Nothing gets simpler.
And if you look right now in a team, you can distinguish what is a person from R&D, what is an IT guy, or from sales and marketing, for example. They work together, and you don't see it anymore.
Teams that work together.
This is very important to really have this collaboration and to have the customer in the middle, or as an objective. We would like to have the best solution for the customer, and I think this is really the combination that we need.
And it's very important for the people who are developing these things. They are responsible for the whole product. Yeah, they are not only for one screw or for one piece of glass you can see on this. They are for one complete product responsible to bring it to the customer. And this was also the mind shift we have learned from the IT guys. Yeah. To transfer it to the engineering departments, to make the people look on a larger scale what they have to develop.
So you centered around the customer and you centered around the product.
Yeah.
What else did you have to put in place to help make the connection between the, I'll call the faster moving software team and the more traditional speed of the car group?
Yeah, well, I think the change management is very important at that point. And we did it in the past, and we still do it, because it's very important. We had a pizza lunch, as we could call it. So we invite everybody from the different teams to a pizza lunch. Of course, it's virtual right now. There's no real pizza anymore. Or as somebody has one in the oven. You had pasta. At least you had pasta. I didn't have a pizza, but we had a great discussion with the team. So I think this is very important, to really empower the people, that they can do the job, that they understand each other, that they know each other, first of all. So we founded a digital product organization, and we have twice a year a big kickoff where we, in the beginning before COVID, we had, of course, a real a meeting where everybody was in a big town hall, and we discussed with them what is the change and what will be the next steps. Right now we do it virtual, and it works very good, because many more people join, and we got a really good and fantastic discussion with all the different people. So this is very important, to understand the needs, the problems. So we are facing a lot of challenges and problems, of course, still, and you have to handle that. So it's very important that you are open and that you're finding solutions for every challenge that we are facing.
There must have been some resistance. What did you do to help people move through, this is the way we're going, come on for the ride?
I have to emphasize what Matthias was saying. It was bringing the people together, talking to them, talking very often to them about why are we doing it, to explain it to the people. You do not have to force them, to push them. Yeah? You have to convince them that they want to do it, that they realize, okay, it's necessary, and it's fun. It's
Yeah.
also at Porsche. It's necessary to have fun. Yeah. Otherwise, you won't get such kind of products. Yeah.
Fits the brand image. I hope you're having some fun, right?
Yeah, we have some fun.
have
We
no
do
fun.
really.
Otherwise, we
And-
wouldn't have such
And we,
project.
for example, we implemented some, we call it, for example, LEO, the learning organization. So special formats of teaching the people, not only about technique, but also about process, about how to collaborate with each other. So we have to do joint meetings where the people can exchange about their experience. We, in the engineering department, we gave the people the possibility to, for 4, 5, 6 weeks, to go to a part of the department which is already doing this kind of agile work, for example, to get a taste of
That's
it.
great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that they go back in their department and say, hey, it's not that bad. It makes fun. Yeah. It's about the people have to be the multiplier about it. Yeah. And if you have some enthusiasts, the fire goes on. Yeah. And this was important. Yeah. To bring the people together and to talk.
I like it.
And to have an international approach. That is very important for us as well. So we founded Porsche Digital, and we have right now subsidiaries in the United States, like Palo Alto, Atlanta, in China, because China is our biggest market as well, Shanghai and Beijing, but as well Tel Aviv, and of course in Germany, Barcelona, for example. And this is very important as well, that we have this international footprint, because to understand first what is the customer need in the different markets, but as well to collaborate with Apple, for example, with Google,
Oh,
but as well with Tencent and all the other players that are around in this digital field. This is very important for us as well.
So you got the sort of traditional speed of cars and long cycles, you got the speed of this, you got all these different countries. How do you synchronize all that?
Yeah, we are talking about, we say it's like a cadence, it's like a heartbeat, because we have so many different teams, and it's very important that we synchronize those teams and that they have the ability to, or the possibility to talk to each other on certain days. So we invented the Porsche Takt. So this is a heartbeat where
Porsche
the teams,
Takt.
the
Okay.
Porsche Takt.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the cadence. Yeah. So
I got it. Interesting.
so
Our
we're meeting with all the teams on those days. So there's an interchange of what is happening, so everybody can understand what are the other teams are doing right now, what are the problems, how can we handle those problems, and I think this helped a lot, as well with let's say physical development teams, because this combination between physical development and software development is very important for us, and it works quite fine. Yeah.
I have to ask the question, does it change the way that hardware people feel about the idea of testing things? Do they think about it, stuff that goes faster now? It's
Yeah.
you do an MVP in a different way than you used to think about it?
As I said before, it depends still if it's more on the mechanical side or more on the software side, yeah? But the people who are more responsible, let's say, for the functionality of the car or about the software function, they are changing their kind of developing these topics, because in former times we decided to developing something, and we met in 3 months and we're looking, is it okay or not? It was not.
I did that
It
too.
was not a good idea all the time. Sometimes it works, but very often it's not such a good idea. So we were beginning to make it much more faster. So our heart rate was going up.
Got it, yeah.
And trying all the time to have a product which is working. You know, this is this MVP. You call it, and this is what we changed to see. Oh, we are on the right way. So after 1 week or 2 weeks, we had another small piece of working product, of working software, of sometimes also of a working electronic component. Yeah, to see, okay, it works. What we have decided 2 weeks ago, let's go on this way. So to make very fast decisions. Fail fast. To see it works, okay, go on. If not, okay, what do we have to change? And this is changing in the way we are working, in the way we are developing. And this was really interesting to see how the people at the beginning, no. We write here our we call it Lastenheft, yeah, where we give it to let's say some of our suppliers and waiting. And no, we have to do it on our own. We have to see it every 2 weeks. And wow, there's a product, there's something growing. It is giving a lot of back to the engineers, yeah, that they do not have to wait for 9 months until the birth. They only have to wait 2 weeks, and they see still there's something growing, working, and they are responsible. They have done it.
I can hear the excitement.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and you get the the immediate response.
Yeah.
How the product is evolving. That is the most important thing. Yeah, we had the same in IT. So we had multiple years projects and didn't get any response because there was no product to talk about. And right now we have this direct response, and then you can get a better quality. And that helped as well to get a higher motivation, because you get a response in a good way, but as well in the better, or not, what you can do better as well. But that helps as well the software engineers and all the engineers to get a better feeling for their work, and that motivates people to come in and to get a response. So it's a good way you're working right now. So that
I do
helps.
the work, I see the results. It feels great.
Yeah. And it reduces the frustration level of the people,
of
because
course.
normally you're working months and months on a product, then you show it to the decision maker, to the board, and the board says, "Oh no, I worked 9 months on it." No. Now you work for, let's say, 2 weeks or 4 weeks. You show it, and they say it's okay or it's not okay. And if it's not okay, it's only 4 weeks of work, you know. And this is it makes you much more happier what you're doing. The frustration goes down, yeah, because you get a faster, a more immediate response.
You found some really clever ways to motivate people based on just the results of the work. I love it.
Yeah, but because results are the most important thing. When we talk about what is good with safe and agile working, that we are really focused on results. Don't do anything else, but look at the results, because we do something for the customer, and we would like to get this as fast as possible. And if you focus on that, it's helpful as well, and you get motivated people there.
So tell me a little bit more about how you used SAFe to enable some of this change. What are the pieces that are really important to you?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, the common language is very important, because we don't want to enable just a team, or we would like to enable the whole company. So this is more than 30,000 people. Okay. So it's very important that we have a way how we can really synchronize everything, and how to build such an digital product organization step by step. As we said, we started with products related to the customer. Right now we're going to enterprise processes as well. And this is very important, to start and then growing, step by step, and grow. And this is how we did it. And it helped, of course, to have, let's say, a framework that we can teach to everybody. We had partners that can help us at that point. We get other people from outside that already had experience with that.
All right.
And we can connect as well in the Volkswagen Group, where we have a lot of collaboration as well. And this was, I think, the major advantage of SAFe. Yeah.
How does it feel to your engineers, this sort of new language?
Yeah, it's right. It's a new language, you know. We are a Swabian German company. Everybody was in the past speaking German. Now, of course, I'm very glad that we have employees from all around the world. But it is a new language for us. Yeah. So, scaled agile framework. Tell it to a classical engineer. Yeah? So it was very important to explain. Yeah? To explain what it's meant, to translate it, to find something which is similar in their known world. Mm-hmm. Let's say that they are not so afraid about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this was one of the most important topic about. Yeah, it was all about translation and talking. Also there.
Yeah, I think that we had a really good alliance on the top management level. So we started 3 years ago to be on stage together. We explained what is the aim of the change management project that we started at that time. We called it Mission D. So it was a common mission of all of us, so that we really transformed the company to this digital world. And that helped, and the people understood that it's not only something coming from the change management or from IT, it was a common approach of all different areas, like sales and marketing, R&D, IT, other areas as well.
So the
that
engagement of all executives here saying, okay, this is where we want to go, to show it to our people, to our engineers, This was very important. So it's not, the IT department, but our leader is saying, no, come on, it's the IT department. That they have seen, no, it's our mission, which we are going together. This was very important.
So your board member for development and your board member for IT and finance, they're on board and sponsoring the
As
change
well,
the same way you guys are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This was also very, very important.
Powerful.
Yeah.
So I know this is about results, which means it's about products and customers. You know, out of this collaboration, what are some of your favorite product experiences? Matthias, start with something that
I think,
you think is
as
great.
we have a lot of different projects, but to see the combination with the car development and IT or digital product, charging is a very important thing. So customer would like to have a really great experience on charging with the Taycan. It was a new challenge, of course, for us, and this was, I think, the first step. And as I said, motorsport, but you can tell more about the tracking position app that we developed together, because this was really something that motivated the people as well, that we developed something together.
And it describes very well about what we are talking all the time now. It's the Porsche Track Precision app. So this is a kind of software functionality which helps the customer to improve his driving. And it describes very well what we are talking all the time, because it combines the engineering department. We have to implement some software in our cars to get access to all sensors we have in the car and so on. We have to visualize it. We have to have an app where the customer can see it, where he can share his experience with the whole community. We have a piece of software which explains the customer how to get faster on the racetrack, where to brake, where to accelerate, and so on. And this has to be done on the engineering side, on the car side, the one speed. It has to be done on the app side, on the back ends, and so on. So more on this side, So we have to bring both worlds. We are talking all the time. We have to bring it together, and where we can see it is this this Track Precision app.
I love it. I have to download it when I get done with this interview. I'm ready to go
let's
test
go
it,
on
right?
the racetrack.
You have to do it. It's incredible, and you really get faster on the track. Believe me, you really get faster.
You can learn a lot.
It's the car isn't the car. It's part of your life. It's
Yeah.
just tied to your digital life. Finally,
That's right. Yeah, it's a very important part of the digital life. Yeah.
the charging experience intrigues me because it's not just like one country. You have a whole ecosystem to make that work. Talk about the partners you've had to build to make that.
Yeah, well, as I said, it's very important for us, and that's very helpful for our IT people as well, that we have collaboration with all the big players in this area. So we are talking to Google, Apple. We have a great collaboration as well with Amazon, and as well in the Chinese world with Tencent, Baidu, Alibaba. And that helps, of course, to find the right demands as well that the customers has in the specific markets, and the combination, that's it. So digital is something to network the things. Yeah, it's not to have a sole solution, but bring things together, and that's the idea behind our ecosystem, that we are bringing things together from startup companies as well. We have a huge, let's say, very important element how we can improve our ecosystem with startups. We are investing, we are helping startups in Berlin, for example, in Tel Aviv, in Palo Alto. To bring new ideas into our products, into the cars as well, and we're investing in that, and looking how we can really improve things in the combination of products that are already existing.
Complicated world, but you're making the best of it.
Yeah, and it's also so we have to handle and deal with these tech players from Silicon Valley or China and so on. So it was really a new world for us in the engineering department. But also, for example, we have to deal and to cooperate with in Germany with the Telekom or with AT&T in the US and so on. So companies we've never worked together, but now we have to, because they are an important part for our connectivity of the cars. You know, there are so many different aspects we have now to focus on 10 years ago, and nobody was thinking about it, yeah? And it's really interesting because now you get so many interesting jobs for our guys here, yeah? It's not only the bodyworks, the chassis, it's everything you can imagine as a young student. What will I do in the next years, yeah?
So has it made it easier to go out and recruit people? I mean, how do you attract talent with this? What do you tell them? How does this feel at Porsche if you're going to come work here? What's the experience you're going to have?
Yeah, the experience is very positive because we have so many different areas where you can act, from car development to production, sales and marketing. So we have everything there. And at the same time, we are working with all these big players. So you can have all the technology. If you choose for one big player, that you only have this technology. But if you work for us, you can have all the different technologies and you can compare it. For AI, for example, as well. We're doing a lot of AI projects as well because it's so important that we improve the product and with AI, but as well the processes. And of course, we are working with all the different big players on that areas as well. So it's very easy to find good talents.
A pretty cool job. Your engineers sound like. So is it the people who are there now? Do they like the way the changes turned out? Are they excited about where they work? How does it feel different than it used to feel? You know.
My experience is, at the end, everybody liked the new world, the new kind of working. Of course, at the beginning, some people are a bit skeptic about. It's about change, and change is always a bit for some people some fear. But at the end, they like it because they can see there's so much opportunity for them to work. If you're in the IT department, in the engineering department, in the after sales or procurement, you can have the possibility to work on these more classical things, but also on the new things. So the people make the experience, they can move between these different worlds and they can move continuously and almost seamless. Sometimes, okay, you make some friction still, yeah. But the people see they are so yeah. There are so much opportunities, and at the end, they like it. Yeah. Almost every of our Porsche employees, they have we call it, they have the fuel in the blood, you know, the benzene in blood, yeah. So and they want to push forward, and then they see the opportunity where they can improve, and at the end they see, okay, I can make a better product. And then they take the chance, and so at the end they are really happy with this kind of working.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So interesting. So, where does it go from here? What's the future look like? How do you expand this? Where do you take it next?
Yeah. So
you know, what's important to do next? I guess. What do you think is important to make sure you keep the traction going?
yeah, as I said, we are just enhancing this in the direction of enterprise processes. Mm-hmm. So it's a long way to go. Of course, we had, for example, SAP project where we started with Agile as well, but right now we need to integrate this in the digital product organization. And of course there is still a lot of things to do as well to enable the international network to really work better on this international variety of solutions. Mm-hmm. And of course we need to manage this complexity because this is a new way of working as well in a complex world. Because you get network products and everything it's different. So before we had network cars, a car development was finished and then a new project came. But right now you have continuously to redevelop the system and have new enhancement in the car. This is a totally different approach on development as well.
Live updates.
Yeah.
The car is never done, right? The car is constantly being updated.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And we have to go more and more into platform development. You know, in the former times, you did one car and then you did the next car, and now you have to think more in a platform strategy. You have to see you have platform software. You have to expand the Porsche Takt, yeah, the heartbeat of the Porsche, to perhaps other brands, or we have to adopt to the Takt of other brands and so on. And this is really important and necessary and still to do, that we are really capable to go into a challenge with the big tech players who already know how to handle it. Yeah? And this is very important for us to learn this how to handle platform development.
So
Yeah.
platform is not just Porsche then, it's Volkswagen Group.
We have to think about the whole Volkswagen Group, yeah?
Depends. But the IT architecture is very important.
Yeah.
You can't work on an old architecture with, let's say, agile methodology, because you need, of course, APIs for us first, so that people and teams can work independently. And of course, they have to be synchronized, but they need some independence as well, that they can really get results. Otherwise, if you have too many dependencies, it will not work. So you need to work really on the IT architecture, that you really get the best architecture for enabling teams and getting faster. This is a very important thing as well. And we still have a lot of challenges there, because we of course have legacy systems. We have a lot of different systems that don't have a common data architecture yet, and we are really refurbishing that and working on that at the same time.
It's hard not to get excited listening to you guys. This looks like you're having a lot of fun. So a question just for fun, because I can't help myself. Let me ask you a question about cars.
Yeah, sure.
So if you had a car you'd like to own today, to have for the next 10 years, which Porsche model would it be? Past, present, or future? Which car would you pick, Matthias?
Yeah, I love convertibles. I always drive convertibles, so I have right now a 911 convertible, and I would like to have this as an electric car, of course, in the future.
Oliver.
It's a very, very hard and difficult question.
I know.
Because, you know, I'm a Le Mans fan.
Oh, are you?
Long distance racing. So the 917 is my favorite car. But of course not for the daily use. You know? So if you ask me about today, of course the 911 would be in my garage. But I'm driving now for over 1 year the Taycan.
Are you?
And it's really a hard decision now. Yeah? Taycan is really so impressive. The performance of the car, the driving on the racetrack, it's incredible. And then you have all these things about the infotainment system, the connectivity of the car. It's hard to decide. So give me a large garage so I could all the three of them.
We can make it 2 cars. It's okay, right? That's a great idea. So, kind of coming to the close here, because I think you guys have told a great story. You know, out of this entire adventure, Oliver, you know, what are the 2 or 3 learnings that really have stuck with you? That you think these are the most important things I've learned going through this process?
As I said before, the most important thing is that there is a large enough group of people who decide that we want to change something. So, like for example, this, like Matthias said, then you have to talk to the people, you have to explain the people why you are doing it. And you have to focus on results. The people in the whole organization, they need to see results that they believe this is the right way, this is the right strategy you are following. And at the end, I've seen everything is possible if you work together. So if you have the right people, with the right mindset, and if you're tough enough, then everything is possible. But you have to focus on results, you have to talk to the people, and you have to convince them.
Powerful.
This was my learning.
So Matthias, what advice would you give leaders who are, you know, embracing a similar level of transformation? You know, what would you tell them are things they should think about?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that you shouldn't underestimate that the digital world is totally different than the physical world, because it's networked. Everything is connected to each other. You have this continuously development, and that makes the things complex. So you have to manage complexity, and it will not work with the organizations and the methodology you are using for physical, let's say, product development, or even for processes that are dedicated for physical products. And so you need a different approach for this digital world. And for digital product development, and this is agile and a networked agile methodology like SAFe or others, but you need this methodology because you need to manage this complexity, and this is very important. Don't underestimate that.
Don't underestimate it.
Yeah.
Look, guys, I'm genuinely impressed. You're building a new future. You're doing it on a new way of working. You know, I wrote in my notes, you are now a digital company building the sports car of the future, which I just think is so fantastic. And by the way, that's the one I would pick. So if I get my choice,
Yeah.
I'm signing up for that one in the lottery
Okay,
next
you can
year,
do it right now.
Well, thank you both, Matthias, Oliver.
Thank
It's been
you
a
very
great
much, Mike.
conversation. And to our attendees of the Global Summit, hopefully you can draw from the Porsche experience how you can lead this kind of change in your own organization.
Thank you,
guys.
Mike.
That was
It was
really-
a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Great to be
It was
here.
a great
Thank you.
talk.